Howdy, everybody. Just admitting a few people, won't be long. Oh, it's so nice. Hey, Kathy. Hi.
Hi, lovely to see you.
Yeah, you too. I've got two screens going. I've got my laptop here, which is the camera, and then I've got everything on the big screen over here, so I can see lots of beautiful faces. Oh my gosh, there's a boy in the house. Scott Cupid, I don't know what we're going to do with your hair, buddy. Have those lovely curls. Let me just admit some more people.
I'm only here for moral support.
You don't need to do much with your hair. It's got that natural perm, hasn't it?
Natural mess, you mean? Great, Chrissy.
I need a moderator up here to come and do the admit all so I can continue to talk to everyone.
No, it's hard. Look at you, popular. Look at this.
I know, it's lovely. I'm going to give it one more minute and then I'll start to kick off.
What? I'm the only guy.
I'm not going to ask everyone how they're all going because that would just be a cacophony of wonderful sounds and exaggeration of joy, which would overpower everybody. So I'm going to assume everybody's doing well and you're here tonight giving up your Friday night so as you can come and do some victory rolls with the mistress. So, oh, your little babe. That's not fair, Kathy. Kathy brings in her babies, steals the show.
But I'll stay on mute because she's very noisy.
That's okay. How many's that now? 2. Yay. More little swing dancers to our scene. So thank you first and foremost to Swing Patrol for inviting the Lindy Charm School for Girls to come along and share or impart some of our knowledge to you all. So hands up, how many are swing dancers so far in the house? Yeah, quite a few. That's great. So I would call my husband in here to do the moderating, but it's his birthday tonight, so he's inside, I think, enjoying some quiet time for himself with a scotch or two. So I'm not going to bother him. Anyway, we're going to kick off. We only have, I think, about 45 minutes. So I wanted to make sure that you got the best of what I could offer you in that short amount of time. If anyone is based, oh, here you are. Would you mind doing the admit all while I talk to people? Is that okay?
No.
Oh, my husband's come to help me. That's great. So I can talk to you. So we've only got, as I said, about that 45-minute mark. So it's a matter of trying to give you as much as I can without overwhelming you and going too fast. So working with the practicalities of what we've got. What I've done so far, just so you know, whenever you want to achieve any of these hairstyles, you need to have some substance in your hair. So you can't just have freshly washed hair and no product and no sort of preparation and expect to achieve some nice volume and bounce and shapes. So 1940s hairstyles, particularly with Victory rolls, it is about creating shapes. So just like the clothing of the era, it is all about shapes. So whether it's shapes with hats, whether it's shapes with flowers, whether it's shapes with rolls and sweeps, barrel rolls or up sweeps, or whether it's shapes within the garments that they made. The 40s was particularly about shape, and that was because they didn't have the austerity of the 50s and later and what we have today. They had to be really frugal and they had to be really creative. So hair became the creative tool of the period, which for us is quite amazing. You can do it?
I can't do it.
No, you can't do it. It's okay, I'll do it.
Good, I'm going.
Happy birthday, Ray! So what we want to do is, with that in mind, the reason I say that is because some people really freak out about not being able to create those full victory rolls, okay? And just so you know, a victory roll was created because of the V that it creates. So it's not just a sweep and having these two rolls on top of your head. It had to actually form a shape of a V somewhere. So whether it was a V in front of the head or behind the head, somewhere within that hairstyle, it was a V shape, hence the word victory rolls. And it was done as a camaraderie and positive reinforcement of we're going to win this war. Everything about what's happening right now is victorious. So they had V for victory in their jewelry, their hat pins, their brooches, their nail polish, and their hairstyle. So it was super, super important that they kept that morale high, and females on the most part were creating all that amazing positivity. So what we want to do now, just to let you know, I have prepared my hair in the fact that it is 4 days old dirty. It's not freshly washed. And so it has that kind of body and substance. So what I have done and what I suggest you all do is you either do a hot roller set. So I've got my hot rollers here. Or you do a wet set. So a dry set is with hot rollers. A wet set is when you freshly washed your hair and then you're going to pin curl it and sleep on it, basically. So I don't know about you. I mean, wet set is the be all or end all, but I haven't done a wet set in about a year's time because I don't have that time, and I'm a little bit lazy. So I'm going to go for quick and easy. And quick and easy for me is either a hot set or a substance in my hair. So this volume, and if those who know me know that I don't actually have lots of thick curly hair, I've actually got fine blonde hair. So, but this substance has come about with using setting lotion, good old fashioned Seattle hairspray, which you get from the supermarket for about $5. These are the tools of the trade: a rat tail comb, a nice paddle brush, best to be boar bristle, but if not, a wet brush is good, and a roll brush. So that's pretty much all I use to create any of my hairstyles. when I do a hot set, using my hot rollers, we want to make sure that we are getting volume. So you have to use a setting spray of sorts. You can't just expect to roll your hair with heat and not have anything with it. So don't use hairspray, don't use gels or mousses because they create a crunch. They're not going to give you that softness and that bounce of feminine roll that you would normally have using an old-fashioned setting lotion, okay? So that's your first thing. Your second thing is to make sure that when you have the two ways to create curl is time or heat, okay? So if you've decided that you're not going to do a wet set, you're going to do a dry set, then you need the heat. When you are doing the hot rollers, make sure that when you take your hot rollers out, you don't brush straight away. It's really important that while your hair is hot, you don't want to brush it out. You want to let it cool down. That's when I use my Cedarl hairspray. So I take my hot rollers out, I give it a spray, and that cools the hair down. I'm telling you this because all of your styling comes and is effective if you have the right preparation. If you don't have the right preparation, then you will fall into those traps of how come this is not working for me. Hi Bettina, I see that Bettina is here. Welcome to the house. So swing dancers, we need to make sure that our hair is tight. Okay, not only we want it to look fabulous, we want it to stay when we're sweaty, when we're, you know, sort of someone's turning us and they hit our head, or you know, we're just going flat out in the fastest of tunes for Lindy Hop, and our hair needs to be stable. So that's the other thing I want to talk with you tonight about, making sure that our hairstyles are secure. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to do 2 styles for us tonight, so not going to go overboard. 2 styles. I've already prepared my hair and I've got a side part. So whatever, even if you don't have a side part, say you're a center part person, don't worry about it. Try and go a side part. So we want 3/4 of the amount of hair on one side and 1/4 the amount of hair on the other side, okay? So let's do that. Let's do a side part, any side, could be left, could be right, doesn't matter. Okay, the second thing I want you to do now that you have, so whether you've got a fringe or no fringe, don't worry about it. You can use, you can have a fringe like me, make it really short, or you can use that fringe and put it into the rest of your hair. So don't worry about the fringe right now. Just let's part the hair on the side. Okay, great. Rule of thumb. You want to take enough of hair, a good amount of hair to create the volume. So I go from the tip of the ear to the top of the scalp. So I use either my nail or a rat tail comb and just create and part that amount of hair. The good thing about the rat tail comb is that you can create sharp, crisp parts. It's no point just grabbing the hair like this, because I'm telling you, when people look at you this way, they go, wow, your hair looks amazing. And they're going to continue to look at you as you walk away. So if you walk away and the back of your hair is an atrocious mess, then everything's been undone. Okay, so make sure the back is as groomed as the front. So let's use either our fingernail or our rat tail comb and go from the tip of the ear to the top of the head. So this is a nice amount of hair. Some people will have more hair, some people will have less. It really just depends on your hair. Okay, everybody has a comb. If you don't have a comb, grab your brush. You can use your brush for this also. And I want you to go behind the hair, okay? I'm going to turn around. I want you to go behind the hair and give it a little bit of a back comb at the base, okay? So behind the hair at the base, not in front and not the whole lot, just behind at the base, either comb or brush. Okay, you're better off bringing the hair up rather than out this way. Okay, so bring it up and back home in here. What that's doing is it's creating this nice volume at the base, which is what you need in order to create these shapes. It's no good and it's absolutely not going to work if you have no substance there. If you try and do it with clean hair without product and back combing, it will just flop. Okay, so everyone's good with that? So if you can sit and hold your hair like this and you can feel that shape, you can see that bump, that's a good sign. If it's flopping, then it may be that you need to give it more of a back comb from behind. What you can do also, not with lacquer, but with cetyl hairspray or a light spray, is give it a bit of a spray at the base. What that's going to do is help it sit up a bit, okay? All right, looks like we're mostly all there. So from here, there's a couple of things you can do. First of all, I'm going to show you the cheats way. The cheats way just to create a shape is to turn it, to twist it like this, push it, and then put a comb in there. So see how I've created that shape, but I haven't had to go the whole hog with the roll. All right, so let's just do the cheats way first. Let's just roll the hair like this, quite far away from the root. Don't go tight on the root, okay? And then just push it back in to here. Can you see that? So I've just pushed it up to give it that kind of nice shape at the top. Then you would use a slide comb or some bobby pins. Slide comb behind, and what that does is it gives you that little rise. The thing with these hairstyles, you want to make sure that one, you can have it symmetrical, which is quite difficult to do. You have to be really, really clear and careful, or you can have it asymmetrical, which is a little bit more forgiving. So you can have a small bump here and a large roll here, or you can have a hat that goes here and some major detail here. So this is the little thing about it, is that that's just a small bump. So the next side we can make quite dramatic. Everybody have a little bit of a quick go with that again. This is just a cheats way. Roll and push and then comb. So this is working on the premise we're creating shape, okay? All right, so now I want to take that out and do a proper roll. So the same hair, we're working with that same amount of hair. So what we're doing this time is we're going to, with our 3 fingers, 2 fingers or 3 fingers, whichever works for you, put it behind. So see how I've started about here? I haven't started up here. If you've got very long hair, that makes it hard if you want to start at the end. So start low. Start low, and my only advice to you is start softly. Like, don't be pulling tight and wrapping tight. Nice and light, okay? So I'm going to turn around, and I want you to see how I'm wrapping around my fingers, like so. So I've wrapped it around my fingers, and I'm just holding it there. Notice my knuckles are still to the front. Yeah, make sure your knuckles are still to the front, because what happens if you twist your hand back, you're twisting your hair away from where we want to go. So keep our knuckles to the front. So essentially, my hand stayed there and I've wrapped the hair around it. I haven't gone anywhere else. Well done, Andrew and Alicia. Looks great. Okay, so from here, you want to grab this little pinwheel. Okay, from there, we want to wrap it in and lay it down. So that's pretty good, Kathy, except your pinwheel's too big. Make it smaller. Okay, so you want your pinwheel to be smaller that you can't see through. It's not like a telescope. We're not going to be able to look through the hole and see the light at the end of the tunnel. Although it'd be great if we could all see the light at the end of the tunnel right now. So we want to lay it down. Look what happens. The back folds down. If I was to hold it up like this with a big pinwheel on its end, see how I can see through it? But look at the back. It's all open. So what I want to make sure I do, smaller pinwheel and lay it down. Okay? Now bring it forward, Kathy, more. Bring it forward to the front of your head. Sarah, that looks good. Bring it all the way forward to the forward part of your hair. Okay. With a bobby pin. Don't use your teeth for bobby pins. Instead, try and use your nail, a ring, or the fatty part of your thumb. And you want to put the pin on the inside, not on the outside. So the trick with this is not to be able to see the bobby pin. So you want to go on the inside of your pinwheel and grab the scalp. Okay. Once more, let's do that again. Let's take that side out. Andrew, if you're doing it on someone else, it's a little bit different. It's better to stand behind her. If you're doing it on someone else, stand behind her. Lift it up. Give it that back comb so you have substance. Really important. Nice volume at the base. At this point, you decide, do I cheat, which is a twist and push, or do I make the hole, go the whole way and wrap it around my fingers, roll it in and lay it flat. So Swing Patrol, don't know your name. Oh yeah, it's Ariane. I was going to say, don't know your name. Bring it forward. Okay, so the thing about it is that you don't want to sit it up on top of your head like Mickey Mouse is. So bring it forward, which when you do that, it closes in the back. Sarah, have you got enough volume there at the base? Your hair looks quite soft and slippery. Yeah, so when your hair is freshly washed, soft or slippery, it is a little bit more difficult. That's why I always prepare with setting lotion and a hot roller set, or setting lotion and a wet set to create volume and some substance. All right, so it's not that you can't do it, it's that your hair is not in the right state of mind to do it, okay? Take it from the ear to the top of the head. Yep, that's it. Andrew, from behind, back home from behind. And give it a spray with some with some hairspray. Kimberly, that's good. Bring it forward. Bring it forward to the, yeah. Bring it really forward to your forehead, to the front of your face. Okay. Marta, so what you want to do from there is lay it, put your finger in the center of the pinwheel and lay it down to the to your crown, like lay it flatter. Yeah. Instead of it being so upright, you want to lay it down flatter to the, it's very subtle. It's about creating shape, but not having these Mickey Mouse ears, okay? That's better. Okay. All right, so what we want to do now is I've done that side part. So that was the easy side. So the next side, which for me is going to be on my right side, it could be for you on the left. I want you to take from the tip of the ear all the way to the top again. So you're going to create or grab this amount of hair. Okay. Cool. So, Kathy, your hair is just, you want to bring it forward and lay it flatter down, okay? Instead of it being upright, just actually twist your hand, you bring it around into like a bit of a J, all right? Around to the front, so it hooks to the front. Okay. So our second side, let's do something a bit crazy here. We've got all this hair to work with. We have more hair. We have 3/4 the amount of hair than the other side, okay? Let's give it a back comb from here. So we have all that volume. Good. Ariane, that's good. That's a good amount of volume. Okay. So from here, let's do one thing. Let's do a cheat first. Let's do twist and push. When we do twist and push, we've created this bump. Now, if you didn't know, what would you think? You would think that it was a 1940s hairstyle because we have this shape here and this shape here. All right, so that taken from from behind, it's twist and push. So when we push, we use our comb and we put it in like this. So it's created this nice rise and this nice shape and this volume, which is what looks like a 1940s hairstyle, okay? If we don't want to cheat and we want to go to the next level, take the comb out. Going to stand from behind. Put our fingers behind. Wrap the hair around the fingers. If we just roll back from here, then we're going to be stuck. It's going to be a roll back. It's not going to be a nice shape. So change hands. Change hands. Grab that little pinwheel. Grab that little section there and lay it down. Lay it down. Sarah, you want, yeah, roll it in. That's it. Roll it in and then lay it down. That's it. Perfect. So you'll neaten it up. Don't twist it. Roll it in to a pinwheel. So I'm rolling it in like this, in on itself, and then lay it down. When you lay it down, it closes the back in. Trish, that looks great. Bring it forward more. Bring that one that you've just done on the left-hand side, bring it forward more to the front of your head. Marta? So where you are, look at me, Marta. So grab those two pieces, the two centers of your, so with one hand, put your hands down, put your hands down. So see you've got your two rolls. I want you to get your fingers, get your thumb and your middle finger and put one in each of the rolls and lay it flat. Pull it down flat. And so you could put a, yeah, it's just a matter of flattening it. And you could put a U-clip or a bobby pin there just to flatten it down a little bit. because you've got the shape, it's just that it's too high right now, okay? All right, great. So what we want to do now is we want to take out a hair, take it out, brush it back, brush it all back. Okay. So what I want you to do is do a center part, straight down the center. Center part, everybody. Great. So if you've got a fringe, great, leave it out. You would curl that under, okay, nice and tight with a GHD or with a hot roller. So let's do our quarter section from the tip of our ear and grabbing that whole section. What we want to do now, feel our center part. We want to bring it round into a J shape and place it flat on the center part. So what it's going to look like is this. Wrapping it, bringing it round and laying it flat on the center part. Okay? Bringing it round and laying it flat on the center part. The most important thing is is when you think you're forward enough, bring it forward more. Back comb at the base to create volume. Bring it round into a J at the back, Kathy, not at the front. If you back comb at the front of your hair, you'll create a bird's nest. So create it at the back. Now wrap it around your fingers, lightly, gently, and not too tight. Now change hands now, Kathy, and bring that pinwheel around to the front and lay it flat on the center. Yes, 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 this way, yes. Bring it forward, yes, and now lay it flat on the center of your part. That's good, Sarah. That's great. Hey, Janice from Adelaide. That's good, Trish. So if it seems too flat, then what you have to do is back comb more at the base, and that'll give it more volume, okay? All right, so let's try the other side. The other side is always a little bit different. Sometimes you've got to change hands. So same amount of hair. What we want to do is same thing, wrap it around our fingers and grab it. So we have this little pinwheel. Andrew, you're doing really well. You're struggling there because Alicia's hair is really soft and it's either freshly washed or doesn't have enough product in it. That's what's happening, okay? But your technique is working. All right, so now what we want to do is bring it to the center part and lay it flat. So bring it around into that J and lay it flat onto the center part. Wrap around your fingers, Kathy, and then bring it to the front. So I can see that a lot of you have got the technique, but there's a couple of things happening. One, we're not finishing the grooming. So if you're back combing, it's becoming this teased mess. You want to be really, really careful that it's quite groomed, and you use your hands for that, or you use your comb, or you use something called a grooming cream, which is this white cream that we sell. You put it on the end of your comb and you comb it through. These hairstyles look sharp because they're well groomed, okay? Now, if they're flopping, like what's happening with Alicia and Andrew at the moment, it could be that your hair is too soft. You haven't done a set, you haven't got any product in it, and you haven't got any structure. Let me talk to you for 1 minute about preparation for your hair to have good vintage hairstyles. Wash your hair once, possibly twice a week max. You don't need to wash your hair every day. Making sure that you have better products rather than cheaper products. I personally love Di Lorenzo. I think it's amazing, plant-based, Australian-made. Use minimal amount of conditioner. I never ever got that until I was well and truly mature and got into vintage styling. So the other thing is that brushing your hair consistently every day really helps with the health of your hair. So if you want your hair to be less flimsy, less flyaway and less limp, then I really suggest that you try and push yourself to do the once a week, brush your hair every day, and don't use too much conditioner. Use good setting lotion, which is obviously the Lindy Charmschool for girls. It's been around since 1937. I have to say that it's the best ever for those that use it and know it. But it's a work in progress. With vintage styling, you have to have structure. You can't just turn up with modern day hair. It's just not going to work. You have to have some structure to your hair, okay? So last thing we want to do, take all our hair out, and we're going to do a quick cheat, because I want everyone to go away with feeling like they have a shape. So give your hair a nice little scratch. This time, Alicia, you can do this on your own hair, and I want you to grab any section you like, left or right or wherever. Just grab a nice big section, okay? So what I want you to do now is I want you to back comb at the base, because even if you did before, I want you to do it again, because by now you're starting to get a bit more structure to your hair because you're doing more to it. I want you to put some hairspray at the base. Just at the base. So if you're holding your hair like this and it's not standing up by itself too much, give it some more back combing. I'm liking that, Marta, that you're using some good grip, which is helping. Yep, it's fantastic stuff. Dusting powder, yep. So nice volume. I want you to twist the end, only the end, not the fullness of your hair. So now what I want you to do is I want you to lay that twist where you twisted it. I want you to lay it down and put your finger on it. So what should happen at the front, we should have this big, nice big bump at the front, okay? A nice big shape. Grab a bobby pin or a comb, whichever you might have, and put the comb in the back. That's looking great, Ariane. And Alicia, just do more. You just need more volume. You just need more volume at the base. Go bigger, go harder, okay? Bring it forward. Then what I want you to do is the same on the other side. Lots of volume. And I want you to twist and lay it down flat. Okay. Use a comb or a bobby pin. Now what I want you to do is spend a little bit of a minute grooming. So you're making it nice and neat where you can. So you're smoothing out those little bits, tucking them away. That looks good.